Hi there guys, and welcome to the Tantrum Show once again. Today, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, if I was going to learn to kitesurf again today, what would I do differently? And there's a few things that I think of this, but the same three things hit me all the time. These are the three big ones, The first one, I would make sure that I was learning up to the point I was riding. Now, this obviously changes once you're actually on the board and riding, but up until that point, through the water start, through first ride, through getting onto the board, all that stuff, body dragging, all those other bits, upwind body dragging, I would make sure I was on short lines. Now, we discovered this about 10 years ago, and it absolutely changed the way we teach kitesurf. We based everything, all the hacks, all the stuff, the technology that we put into our lessons was possible because of this technique. Because what does it do? Reducing length of lines reduces the potential power in the kite. So it reduces the danger. So suddenly, rather than giving someone this lethal weapon, they can't control, you're giving someone a toy when they're on shorter lines. So it means that every exercise we do, you remove that element of fear, because this is fine, this isn't going to hurt me, because you cannot generate the power. And what's important about this is in these early stages of learning to kitesurf, you do not need power. What you need is control. What you need is a kite that relaunches easily. What you need is a kite where the lines don't get tangled and the kite doesn't get wrapped up in itself, because the lines aren't long enough to allow it to do that. And this is what short line gives you. So the huge one I would say initially, practice on short lines. Now, if you're already riding, obviously this is different, then you need full length lines. But up until that magic point where you're starting to ride, do everything on short lines. And this is something that affected me, because when I was learning, I learned on full length lines, big kite, thinking I need the power, I need to practice with this power because this is what I need to learn to ride. No, I spent so many days being flung over the front of the board as I practiced water starting or practice body dragging. I just touch the kite in the water and suddenly the kite rolls inside itself. I can't relaunch the damn thing. I'm sent back to the beach and I've spent half an hour resorting my lines out because they're in such a mess. This doesn't happen on short lines because there's not enough lines to get tangled. There's not enough power to pull me over the front so I can perfect the technique that I'm practicing before I add the power. And again, at this early stage, you do not need the power. So that would be my number one tip. Not necessarily the most important, but the one that will lead to all the rest uncovering themselves. Short lines. Second tip, practice your board skills first. This is especially true for those of you who don't do another board sport. Especially you skiers out there who are going to struggle, because when it comes to riding, you tend to want to ski, or people who've never done a board sport before. Practice board sports. I don't care what it is. Snowboarding, skateboarding, wakeboarding, whatever, surfing. Preferably one that you have to practice left and right foot forward. Not as important as actually practicing the board skill, but if you can practice one, or make sure that you're practicing, both feet forward, so regular and goofy, you'll do a lot better when it comes to actually riding, because in kitesurfing, obviously we need to be able to ride both ways. So there we go, short lines, board skills, the third one, and this is the huge one, and it's the one that everyone forgets. The single biggest variable in you learning to kitesurf is you. It's that simple, the wind, the waves, well, it's great. Yeah, we can't control them. The thing you can control and the thing that's going to make all the difference on the day is you. Is your physical ability, your physical fitness, your physical preparedness, if that's even a word, for learning to kitesurf. Your mental, how mentally switched on and aware you are on the day that you learn to kitesurf. That's what's going to make the huge difference. And this is why some guys we can teach from zero to hero, literally riding up wind. I think the minimum we've done it in is 9 hours. Riding up in Tarifa. Zero to riding, 4, 5, 6 hours. Some guys take 4, 5, 6 weeks. Some guys take 4, 5, 6 months to get to the same slot. We're teaching in the same way. We're adapting our teaching. The difference is them. Okay, so whatever you can do to prepare yourself preferably before you go on your kite surfing lessons, because much of this can be done before you even get there, is gonna make a huge difference. Now, I've put together a course on this. The link should be above, below, somewhere around, or in the video itself. If you want to go and check this out, we put a course together that will teach you this 30-day course designed to be done for 30 days before or during your kite surfing lessons, which is designed to do just this. Take you, the variable, and make it as strong, as good, as fit, as ready for your kite surfing lessons as it possibly can be. I say the link should be above or below this video. If you're interested, that should whip you over to a video that explains a bit more about what's going on, and then the course is available after that. Okay, so they're the three things I would say. Short lines. Again, you might not be able to control this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there are loads of videos on YouTube about this, which will just show you how you can do it with your own kit, but also talk to your instructor. And if you're going through lessons, ask your instructor if you can do this for the initial parts of your lessons, or find a school that does. Honestly, it's worth it, especially if you're learning somewhere where the conditions are a little bit more tricky. If you are learning somewhere it's perfect flat water, waist deep lagoon, yeah, this maybe is a little bit of overkill. If you're learning where most of us learn, somewhere it's a bit more tricky, short lines is going to change your entire experience, especially if you're a little bit concerned by the power in the kite. Okay, it will change everything. Board skills, something that's super easy to do, and really, really enjoyable. Snowboarding, wakeboarding, skateboarding, surfing, whatever. Anything that involves a board, just go and do it. Stand-up paddling, anything like that, go and do it. It's going to really, really pay dividends down the line when you come to learn that water start. And I say the final one, you. Work on you, preferably before you get to your lesson, so that you're ready when you come to your lesson. There's nothing more demoralising for us or for the person that comes to the lesson, not flexible enough to get the board on their feet, not fit enough to last more than an hour in the water. Perfect day of wind, 5 hours of wind, great, let's go. After half an hour, they're wrecked. Or just some of the basics you can be practicing off the water to prepare yourself for your lessons when you're on the water. So they're the three big things, I always give to people when they ask me that question. So again, hope that helps you guys. Get out there, get practicing. If you've got any questions, as always, bang them in the comments below, or sam@tantrumkitesurf.com, and I will get back to you as soon as is humanly possible. Okay, cheers guys, speak to you soon.